Today we're here at Qullen Rehab Hospital in Johnson City, and I'm joined by Miranda Stout and Bill Stanley, and I'm going to start with you, Miranda. Let's talk about Qullen Rehabilitation Hospital. Tell us exactly what the main mission is here at Qullen Rehab.
Well, our main mission is to help patients get back home and back into the community to be able to do the things that they love. I mean, I think that overall that's all we're ever concerned with, is getting people back to their home and their lifestyle.
And you got a young man over here to my right over here that is a success story here at Qullen Rehab, don't you?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to slide over here and talk to Bill Stanley. And Bill, let's talk about your story. What brought you to Qullen Rehab?
What brought me to Qullen Rehab? It was the end of a nearly 4-month journey. Started March the 1st. Broke my ankle. Being a diabetic, anytime you have something wrong with your feet or your ankle or anything down the lower part of the leg, you are at danger, more than at danger, but you are at danger for amputation. I was healing fine. Everything was going great. I was in my second rehab placement up at NHC, which is a skilled nursing facility. And I worked in healthcare for about 14 years, so I know a little bit about it. And one of the things with infection, you can smell infection. But I smelled something I didn't understand what it was. It was clean smell. And I asked the wound care nurse, I said, her name was Andrea, she was wonderful. I said, is everything okay? And she said, yes. Well, next thing I knew, they were whisking me off to go see Dr. McCrae was on vacation, but over to Watauga Orthopedics, whom again, I would not go to another orthopedic group. Went to Watauga Orthopedics and went in, and Everett Baker, I do believe that's his last name, Everett Baker, the nurse practitioner, or pardon me, physician's assistant, he had x-rays taken. The x-rays looked great. And he bumped the bottom of this thing called an external fixator, and it looks like your RoboCop, okay? He bumped it and it moved. Not supposed to.
Right.
So anyway, he said, we're going to the hospital, we're taking that X-Fix off, and we'll see what's going on. So he went to the hospital. Dr. Stewart took the X-Fix off, and Everett came into the hospital room and he said, Bill, the distal end of your tibia and fibula have turned to mush. And I knew what that meant. And I told him, I said, hey, I know what's going to happen. I'm at peace with it. I just want to wait on Dr. McCrae. And luckily, I was in good enough stead with my insurance company that I could call them and say, listen, can we do this? Sure, no problem.
And the folks here at Qullen Rehab, talk to me about some of the exercises, some of the therapies you've been going through. Talk to me about the people here, what they've done for you.
Well, the people here are top shelf. Jeff Robinette, who is the Director of Therapies and Case Management, he and I have a lot of common ground because we're both wrestling fans. And they put me with a therapist that was every bit as stubborn as I was. And Jack's last name escapes me.
But he's been pushing you and pushing you.
Jack pushed me. Now, I have not seen anybody here in over 2 months, but they pushed me to the point as to where I went home. I had some services at home, and it's been continued progress, but they pushed me to the point to where they could say, okay, fly.
Yeah.
And I did. Mostly off the handle, but no, I took off. And I've done well.
All right, Bill, thank you for sharing your story with us.
Welcome.
And Miranda, like I said, a success story. He's doing everything he's supposed to do, and you all are helping him here at Qullen.
Thank you so much.
Talk to us about, how does it make you feel knowing that you're helping people literally and figuratively get back on their feet?
Well, I have to say it's a real reward to work for a hospital such as Qullen, because I got a chance to not only hear about his story, but I got to see him walk in today, which was a huge success for me, because then that reminds me of why I do what I do and why we all do what we do here. Because any patient that we have could be your mother, it could be your father, it could be your sister, brother, whatever. And I just always want us to be able to take care of our patients with that mentality. So it was a real reward to see you walk in here today.
All right, Miranda, Bill, thank you for spending some time with us today. It is Qullen Rehabilitation Hospital here in Johnson City, doing great work with all kinds of folks across our region.